What's up, Ramley? You are now in the kitchen with Chef Nixon for all your fixings for the latest and greatest about VCU men's basketball. So, VCU versus Davidson. How did it go? Let's get into it. So Davidson comes into this game riding a 13-game win streak. Definitely one of the hottest teams in the A10, if not the country. They're very similar to like your Campbells and your Richmond in regards to their style of play. But one thing I will say is they do use a lot of ball screens or off the ball screen, and a lot of backdoor cuts, rub and curling off screens. They do a lot of action that is very difficult to guard. So we're going to have to bring our A game in regards to defending them. VCU comes back to the stew after a demoralizing loss to St. Bonaventure this past weekend. We didn't really go and put our best foot forward down there. So this is really like a bounce back game. So I expected us to have a lot of energy, to be riled up, because I believe these group of cats are winners. And at the core of them, that's all they truly want to do. So they want to get back into the win column. VCU, of course, has Ace back, and it's been wonderful to have him back. We were 4-4 without him. We're 6-1 coming into this game with him. And the offense looks, outside of St. Bonaventure, because I think that was an anomaly. But we've been looking sensational, or not sensational, but improved substantially offensively with Ace in the lineup. So I was curious to see how we could take advantage of Davidson's defense and how we could defend them coming down the stretch. So this game was exciting from the tip. It was both teams trying to impose their wills against each other. Davidson is a very long basketball team. They're very disciplined. They're well coached, and they run their offense like a well-oiled machine. There's not a lot of wasted ball handling, not a lot of wasted cuts. Everything has a purpose with them. And if you make a mistake, they're going to make you pay for it. And sometimes even if you don't make a mistake, they'll still make you pay for it, So Davidson there's a reason they're on this 13-game win streak. They're not some team that's just getting lucky. They're legit. Campbell was, like I said before, Campbell was a sample size of Davidson. Davidson has more talent. They have bigger guys, and they have the more experienced coach. So coming to this game, like I said, it was crazy from the tip. I got to give a special thank you to all the fans that showed up and showed out yesterday. To be in that environment, to see the fans going crazy and how loud it got in there, it was nostalgic to previous years where the stew was packed out and it was hard for teams to come into the stew and play. And I encourage people to continue to come out and support the team because they need it. You know what I mean? We need to have a true home court advantage, not just somebody coming to our city to play. This isn't the Coliseum. This is our house. So as VCU fans, we gotta represent. So again, thank you to all the people who came out for that. So how do you beat a team like Davidson with that style of offense and their style of defense? How do you beat a team like that? So first things first, defensively, they like to move the ball freely. They like to move freely. And back in the '90s, somebody doing a cut, you kind of give them a little chuck or whatever, get in their way. But now you really can't do that, or at least not as much. So how do you defend it? The thing is, one, the ball pressure on ball has to be through the roof. When you give somebody time to sit back and look over the defense, and they'll pick you apart. But if you have somebody in your face making you move the ball where you don't want to protect it, you know what I mean? That's buying your teammate that's off the ball that half a second that he needs to recover or react to a backdoor cut or somebody slipping the screen. So on-ball pressure will have to be at an all-time high. And even with that, you have to be attached enough to your man off the ball that he can't just come off the screen and get a wide open shot. But you also have to be off the ball enough that where if the man with the ball gets beat, you can still be in help position. So that's a lot. It's a task. So it would take a lot. It would take a lot for that. But we have the defense to do that. We have great ball hawks. We have people who are athletic who can get around screens. So I wasn't necessarily worried about that. But moving on to the defense, to the offensive end for us, where we had our struggles and we're still trying to improve. How could we score? And with a team like Davidson, we had to get the ball moving, side to side, get the ball inside, get the ball outside. But it seems as if they really had a hard time defending our pick and roll. Ace had a lot of really good looks coming off the pick and roll. He dined out a lot of our guys. We should have had more conversions of those assists, but we didn't. But they had a hard time doing that, and they had a hard time defending our closeouts. And to be honest with you, I think that's the best way to do it. We have to make them defend as hard as they run their offense. Because if not, they're going to have fresh legs, and they have shooters all around the court. So we have to be prepared for that. And for the most part, I think we did a really good job. I think we did a really good job of our ball pressure. I think we did a really good job of staying attached to our dude, coming off the screens. Of course, Davidson hit some really, like, there's times when we played great defense and Davidson just hit some really tough shots. For instance, I just got off the radio with Scott, and we were talking about a shot that Michael Jones hit in the corner. And Ace Baldwin was all the way up in his face. He could test the shot perfectly. There's not much more he could have done in that situation. And through it all, Jones goes up and it just sinks one. Nothing but net. And it's like sometimes the offense is just, you're going to have great defense, but greater offense. It's just part of the game. So I think we did a really good job on both sides of that. So you're probably wondering, well, damn, how do you lose a game like that? And we'll get to that. So one thing I noticed is we, as VCU, we get very uncomfortable when we have a shot blocker on the opposing team. And now it's basically been 2 games in a row. The first game with Usan Osani from St. Bonaventure, long, lanky, athletic, big man, who, you know, he's really intimidating and controlling the paint just from the threat of him blocking our shot. And with Davidson, Luka Brockovich, I hope I'm saying this right, Brockovich, I think he did a good job of intimidating our guys too. For an example, not trying to pick on him, but just for an example, Levi had the ball in the paint, made a great move, had the left-handed shot that he usually goes up with, but instead he turns back around and takes away that shot, and now he can't get a shot if he has to pass it out. And I think that's due to the threat of Luka Brockovich being down there. And he's a very long guy, don't get me wrong, but in order for us to truly be effective against teams like that, we can't fear our shot getting blocked. What we have to do is we have to go for big man. We have to get in the big man's chest, hit him so we can go straight up. If he gets it, it's a great shot block. But other than that, you know what I'm saying? You can't. There's no way that you can just continue to pivot, or try to extend yourself far away from the basket. That's lowering the percentage that you're going to make it. You have to go through the shot blocker. You can't go around him. That's their skill. You can't go around them. You have to go through them. At least put the pressure on the referees. Where if you're going hard enough, the referee's going to have no choice but to blow the whistle. Now, some of these refs last night, you never know. But that's how you have to attack a shot blocker. You have to go straight through their chest. That's with guards included. You can't be intimidated to a point where you just don't go up with shots. Sometimes, it's going to be, okay, he came all the way over. I should just dime this out. Or there's going to be times where, hey, it's just me and him. And I got to find a way to win the battle. Whether that means I go through his chest and finish through him, or I go hard enough and get fouled. You have to be able to do it. We can't allow them to just get comfortable just off the threat. You know what I mean? I'm pretty sure Usani maybe had like 3 blocks. I think he had like 3 blocks. Let me see how many shot blocks Luka had that night. And I don't think it was that many, to be honest with you. I can't recall one off the top of my head, but I want to make sure, because we can't continue to let shot blockers have that type of effect on us. Let's see. Full box score. Luka. All stats. He had 1 block. He had 1 block. The whole night, he had 1 block. He's good. He's long. He's tall. He's long. But he's not athletic like Osani is. He can't move like Osani can. We have to put the pressure on the referees. We have to go through his chest to finish. We can't fade away from the basket. That's not going to work. I think Hassan may have got 1 off. But that's fool's gold. That's not going to consistently go in. You know what I mean? You have to go through the shot blocker. And I know it seems like I'm harping on this, but judging out of the last 2 games, that played a big part in our offense not producing the way that it should have. So we got to get better with that. And I just want to give before I get into some controversy, I guess. I really want to give some flowers to Davidson's coach. Davidson's coach has been doing it for a long time now, and he's constantly been around the top of the league, and it's just the players he brings in and the careers that they have. Like, we had Gibbs on the sideline coach for them now. And he was like my guy TB said, he was like a walking 40 piece. He can give it to you any type of way you wanted it. And now they have some other guys on the team now who are just like really, really good. And they run their offense crisp, and it's so smooth. And a basketball purist would love and enjoy to see Davidson play. So I got to give them some shouts out because they're a really good team, and we are too. And Mike Rose is. I wouldn't want to if I had my choice, I would love to have had 1 year under Mike Rose as well. Just his style of coaching. I think it would have been really, really, really helpful for my game. So one time for both coaches. Now, let's get into these refs. I know there was a big distaste from VCU fans for some of these refs. Some of the calls were just so questionable. And I would have to agree. I mean, some of these calls, this is in conference play, it's kind of bang bang. You know what I mean? You got to call the fouls that are obviously fouls. But it was a lot of questionable calls. I mean, a lot of questionable calls that didn't go in VCU's favor. And I do applaud the Stu for letting them know that we didn't appreciate that, because it was noticeable. I got multiple texts after the game about just the referees, and one guy in particular. I can't remember his name right now, but I'm going to find it. But one guy in particular seemed like he just had a vendetta against VCU from the jump. I'm not sure why. I'm not sure. I mean, hey, I don't know, but it just seemed that way. Now I know refs aren't supposed to be biased in any type of way, but we're all human. So I'm not sure what happened to set him off, or what the deal was, but it just seemed as if he just didn't have it out of VCU. However, let me just say this one last thing. Towards the end of the game, Ace Baldwin is out of bounds play, side out. Ace Baldwin is coming off a down screen to get the ball. The dude is like trying to get through the screen. They get hung up together. They call a foul. Foul on Davidson. Lawyer, whatever his name is. He starts complaining to the ref. He grabbed my hand. He grabbed my hand. He grabbed my hand. In my years of basketball, now I never played in the league. League might be something different because there's so much money involved in the league that maybe they'll listen. And they have a whole review system or challenge system in place in the league. But I've never seen a player complain about a call and officials go and review it. I just never seen that. I've never seen it. Maybe this is a new rule I'm ignorant to, but I've never seen a player call or complain about a call and get it reviewed. Ever. Ever. But it happened last night. And it left me scratching my head. It still was VCU's ball. So it didn't really impact the game per se, because butterfly effect, a flap of a butterfly's wing caused a tsunami on the other side of the world. So I'm not really sure how that impacted the game, but at least they didn't take the ball away from us. It wasn't that big of an impact. But still, the fact that they went and reviewed it was kind of weird to me. But anyway, even with that, even with the calls, we still could have and should have won this game. All right, so let's get to the last shot. We get the ball. We're down 2. Ace Baldwin has the ball. I think like 10 seconds left. I believe Coach Rose said he had a play that was already set, which would get more people involved, which would probably get the defense moving a little bit more instead of just loading up to the ball like they did. And I understand. In hindsight, you think, damn, I wish Coach would have called a timeout. But if he hits that shot, you'd be like, great coaching. You didn't call a timeout. So it's one of those things where you just got to live with it. I did not like the decision that Ace made with it. I felt as if he could have got like maybe like 2 drag screens, he could have easily got to the cut for himself. Or he could have been doing what he was doing all night and just finding somebody right under the rim for an easy bucket. Tie up, we go into overtime. They don't want to see us in overtime. Boom, we get the win. So that's the last shot. But there's one other thing. That we could have done better to win this game. And mind you, I think we played a very close to perfect game. I thought we played super good against these guys. I think we played exceptionally well against these guys, except one thing. 9 for 21. What's that? We were 9 for 21 at the rim. Not threes, but at the rim. And I want to say at least 8. At least 8. There's no way we shouldn't have converted them. At least 8. That's 16 points. Now, overall, what we had, 11 misses. No, 12. 12 misses. 12 misses at the rim. That cost us the game. Regardless of the refs, regardless of their shooting, what cost us the game was our inability to finish at the rim. We left 24 points out there. Now, sometimes it's gonna be hard. You got a defender like right there. It's gonna be hard to just make that. It may be challenging. You know what I'm saying? The defense may force you into a miss. But we did not convert the things we were supposed to convert. and it sucks to say that, but this is a game that we could have and should have won. But when you're playing the top teams in your league, the top teams in the country, 9 for 21, you're not gonna win. You're not gonna win. You're not gonna win. I think we did well in every other aspect of the game. But 9 for 21, you're asking for it. And I hate to say it like that, but it's just true. It's hard to overcome leaving 24 points of bunnies out there. It's hard to do that. That's why I said we make 7. We make 7. 5. We win. We win. So let's get into the stat leaders. For VCU, we had Vince Williams, 16 points, 7 rebounds, 4 assists, 2 blocks. Mr. Do-It-All, did it again. Ace Baldwin did his thing, 10 points, and he came like second half. He willed us back into the game. We were down by like 8 or 10, and he willed us back in there and put the team on his back for a second. So big shouts out to him. I understand why he felt like he had to take the shot. I just wish he would not have taken that one. But 10 points, 7 assists, and 5 steals. He was all in Lawyer's pocket the whole night. Great job by Ace. Keyshawn Curry also added in 10 points and 2 assists. I love his aggressiveness. Like I said, an aggressive Keyshawn is a good Keyshawn. He performed well yesterday. For Davidson, Luka Brockovich had 19 points, 5 rebounds. Foster Lawyer had 14 points, 4 assists. And Michael Jones had 13 points and 6 rebounds. The low-key player of the game. Let me get some water for this. This is going to be my first low-key player of the game where I'll just say it. Low-key player of the game is Hassan Ward. And I say that not in like he was the key factor to the game, as in he did well. He didn't do bad. He did a lot of good things on the floor. You know what I'm saying? He did a lot of good things. But like I said, what I see for Hassan and the ability that he has and what NBA scouts see in Hassan, if we had to measure, did he play to his standard, above his standard, or below his standard? I think we all can agree he played below his standard. It says that he went 4 for 10 in the box score. I don't believe that. I watched the game, and maybe he just didn't get up. I don't know. I could have sworn I've seen him miss about 6 or 7 layups. 6 or 7. And I know he wants to do well. Everybody wants to do well. And this is not me. This is not me picking on him. You know, this is not me picking on Hassan. This is not me blaming the game on Hassan. But there's a standard that I feel like there's a level that I feel like Hassan could be at. And as of right now, he's not scratching the potential that he has. I think he could do a lot better. I know that he thinks he can do a lot better. Coach B and the coaching staff believe he can do a lot better. But he has to truly lock in and focus in to be the player that we as fans think he can be and that he wants to be for himself. It's time. It's time, Hassan. It's time to ramp it up. Get in the gym. I know you're missing shots now. You're probably in your head about it. The only remedy for that is getting in the gym. After practice, you get up those little hook shots you take, or those little floaters. Because you can dunk the ball. We see that. Get up those floaters because you seem to get those a lot. Get up 50, 50 to 100 after practice. Get 50 to 100 after practice, every practice. Hey, Coach B, I need you. Come on. 50 to 100 after every practice. And watch. That extra effort, that little bit of extra effort right there is going to change the performance that you get on the court. You have hella potential, Hassan. Hella potential. NBA potential. Overseas potential. But potential ain't nothing without work. So this is not me getting on you. This is me encouraging you to be who you believe you can be and who we think you are. All right? So, moving forward, VCU has St. Joe's up next. St. Joe's is 7-8. They're 1-3 in the conference. They have losses to Davidson, Rhode Island, and LaSalle. So looking at that, I think we should smash them. But I know conference games are tricky. However, this is a game to get back on the right track. We had 2 tough games back to back. We see what the top level of the A10 is, and I believe we can match that, if not surpass that. You know what I mean? So this is a game we can get back on track with. I think that the coaching staff is going to be ready. I think that Ace and Vince are going to be the leaders they have to be to get the team ready as well. So I'm looking forward to the next one. Forget it. Put this one in the past. Take a lesson from it and go on. So that's all I got for y'all. So until next time, peace.